There is no break in news right now for Ohio State football fans. We will break down Brian Hartline leaving to become the next head coach at the University of South Florida, a flip on the early National Signing Day opening, and news on Chris Henry Jr. It is the breaking news, it is the major news, it is the sad news as Brian Hartline is taking the head coach job at the University of South Florida. He is leaving Ohio State. We'll get into all the details in just a second. First, it was Penn State, possibly Florida, even Kentucky was mentioned. Time and time again, we asked you guys, do you think he'll leave? Do you think he should leave? We gave you all the information. A lot of you guys said, I don't think Brian Hartline's leaving. He's not ready, so on and so forth. Here we are. Brian Hartline will be the next head coach at the University of South Florida. Pete Thamel of ESPN had it first. Again, this is Hartline's. We'll break down all the info in a second. We're going to give you everything you need. But this was his first full year as the solo offensive coordinator for Ohio State. He technically was when Chip Kelly was there also, but they split those duties, however it's been defined. Hartline, off to be a head coach. People who were keyed in and connected and know enough about Ohio State know that Brian Hartline wanted to be a head coach. Now, the good news, I know you're wondering right away, no, he's not bolting. He will still be the Buckeyes play caller, offensive coordinator. He's still helping with recruiting. He's a part of the program. He's a Buckeye for life, like you guys say. So, he is still a part of the program through this college football playoff run, which, by the way, I think you should hit that thumbs up on the video to say thank you to Brian Hartline, right? Do that right now. Hit that thumbs up on the video. Thank Brian Hartline. Everything he's done. Who knows? He may not be done at Ohio State. Could come back one day. I don't want to say it now. But look, a lot of people that know Brian Hartline connected to the program, even us here on the Ohio State Football Report, it was clear he wanted to be a head coach. He gets his opportunity, what I think is perfect, at the University of South Florida. That's my reaction. I want your reaction. Let us know down below, one word, your reaction to Brian Hartline leaving Ohio State for South Florida. All right, so a lot to break down here with Hartline exiting to become the next head coach at South Florida. Again, we heard his name with Penn State, with Florida at times, with Kentucky at times. Probably the perfect first job for him to head to South Florida. That's my opinion for Hartline. That this is the perfect first job for him. He's got recruiting connections down there. He's always done well recruiting down there. We got to pivot to the Buckeyes here real quick. This is a gigantic loss, losing Brian Hartline. It's huge. It's huge. He is an elite recruiter at the wide receiver position. We know that. We know the names he's brought in here. We know the guys he's developed here and the connections he's made to bring elite talent in at the wide receiver position. Stay with me for a sec. I'm not going to roast past Buckeyes. I love these names I'm about to say. They did great things. They did good things for Ohio State. Hartline gets here in 2017. The names start shifting from Benjamin Victor and other wide receivers, that the Buckeyes were solid and had some good names there, but, maybe weren't the utmost best and definitely not, first rounders, top 10 picks at the wide receiver position. Then you start translating into the Jeremiah Smiths, the Emeka Ibukas, even Julian Fleming. Hartline recruited him. He was a 5-star. Those were the names you start getting once Hartline gets involved with the program, right? The Buckeyes certainly turned more talent at the wide receiver position. You love a Devin Smith. He helped you win a national title. Devin Smith is not Jeremiah Smith. Those are different players, and Hartline is the difference over those years to getting those sort of players. I reiterate, massive loss recruiting-wise for Ohio State. I do think Hartline's a young and upcoming mind right now in college football. I think that's been noted by a lot of people connected in college football and to Ohio State. However, I'm not as concerned about the Buckeyes replacing him, and we will get to some options here in a second. But I do want to say, again with Hartline, a lot of you guys just said he's not leaving, not ready, Buckeye for life. There was some mix and match with Hartline leaving and the opinions and when he'd go and why and Ryan Day. Look, he was ready to go. He wanted to go. I listed these when we were talking Penn State. I think it's the same for USF. I don't think USF is giving him like gigantic amount of money compared to most head coaches. They are giving him a 6-year deal. So obviously that's good. Opportunity. This is the gold rush of college football jobs right now. Timing-wise, you don't know when Ryan Day's done. I know that's like a big thing, is like Hartline will replace Ryan Day. Maybe, but that could be 10 years from now. And why do you want to boot Ryan Day out? I think that's a really big thing. And again, Ohio State's been great on offense this year. I'm still not completely clear how much play calling we actually got from Brian Hartline and Ryan Day and like mix and match and schemes. And I think Hartline did most of it, but we don't completely know the control that he had over the play calling here. So again, massive loss for Ohio State, in my opinion, as Brian Hartline exits to take the head coaching job at the University of South Florida. Want to let you guys know this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. You got bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. It's simple to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and use their lineups in just one click. Give me a friend, celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab. Getting you set with our lineup here for Thursday night football. It is Dak and Pickens. Been looking good. Great connection there. I'm going more on both and more on Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back for the Lions. He was off last week. I think he'll bounce back, recover. So this is a good example of a 3-player stat projection from Prize Picks. Also, new feature alert. Prize Picks now has early payouts. I love this sort of thing. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you're good, you're ready to rock, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get your first $5 lineup when you play your first $50 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Okay, now what happens now with Brian Hartline? As we said before, he will stay with Ohio State through the college football playoff, again, to help with play calling, to help with recruiting, to help with all the things. So, again, another reason to hit that thumbs up button. Thank Brian Hartline, Buckeye true and true, sticking with it. There are options replacement-wise, and I think I know who a lot of you guys are going to jump to right away in this one. First things first, emergency situation, emergency scenario, crazy scenario. Ryan Day can call plays, okay? He's done it for years. I know he's leaned into the CEO role more recently and given up play calling, but hey, that's always the backup, is that Ryan Day can call plays for you and someone else can be your learning offensive coordinator or offensive coordinator that doesn't call plays, which, by the way, is not uncommon in both the NFL and college football. So, look, let's say they don't find a great replacement, a replacement they love. You head into next season, bump an assistant up, and Brian Day can call plays. The other option, you're thinking it, right? I know you're thinking about it. Bring Chip back. Chip Kelly. We talked about the rumors in general of him coming back as like a consultant maybe for Ohio State. Good opportunity, I think, here, though, possibly to bring Chip back, Ryan Day's mentor. Good offense last year. Chip back in the building calling plays for Ohio State. I have no issue there. I think Chip Kelly would be a great option to bring back as an offensive coordinator for Ohio State. You tell me, though, who do you want as the next Ohio State offensive coordinator? Is it Chip? Do you want Ryan Day calling plays? Is there a name I'm not seeing right away on Breaking News Day? Let us know down in the comments section below. As I said, news galore. Ohio State can't get a break. They got the Big Ten title game Saturday, the Hartline news, and, of course, the early signing period for the class of 2026 today. We filled you guys in on this. Kayden Dixon Wyatt, the teammate of Chris Henry Jr., we felt the Buckeyes could lose some receiver somewhere, and it ends up being Kayden Dixon Wyatt, who flips his commitment. By the way, these guys, when they say their recruiting is closed or whatever, it's just, come on. Your recruiting's closed, and now you're with USC all of a sudden. Interesting. So, 4-star, one of multiple 4-stars, though. That's kind of the good news with losing Kayden Dixon Wyatt in this class. He will head to USC. Interesting note there. Just interesting overall going through the Kayden Dixon Wyatt situation. Always felt like a bonus. I said in our recruiting rumors video the other day with Ohio State, the thing with Kayden Dixon Wyatt is like an added bonus to the situation, right? You still feel really, really good about this 2026 wide receiver class. You keep hearing me say, we talked about it in this video, in that video, in the other video. If you are not subscribed, locked in, hearing all the Ohio State news, rumors, previews, watch parties, all of it, be sure to hit that sub button right now. The only 5-star for Ohio State in the class of 2026, Chris Henry Jr., has been verbally committed since 2023. A late run from Oregon and USC to flip him fails. Chris Henry Jr. announces he will go to Ohio State. Keyword announced. We have gotten some different reporting, 24/7, Rivals, On3, different reporting as far as if he has signed his letter of intent right now. On3 and Rivals saying he has not actually signed the letter of intent. I don't want to worry you guys. This happened with Jeremiah Smith. He announced Ohio State 2 weeks later, signed and sent that letter of intent. But for right now, Chris Henry Jr., the only 5-star in the class of 2026 for Ohio State, announces Ohio State will be his new home. And we know the impact he could make, and especially with Brian Hartline leaving, I think this looked like it was going to take a really bad turn today. Kayden Dixon Wyatt flips. Brian Hartline's leaving. A lot happening. So good stuff to have Chris Henry Jr. announce Ohio State today to I guess not begin, but as a part of the early signing period. And again, if you stuck with us, if you've been watching our videos, flip news, the Buckeyes add one. I guess they should be set to be at 28 like they plan to be, losing Dixon Wyatt, but gaining Kaden Gebhardt. More for that secondary. A 3-star was committed to Clemson. Now he'll head to Ohio State.